like a boss right now. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now.
All right, get moving, man. I don't want to see anyone walking around. Winners do not walk. Let's see some hustle out there today. We got a big game this week. Well, fellas, there's not a whole lot I can say about that performance today. We have high aspirations as a team. If we want to get there, we got to raise our game. Because if we repeat what I saw out there today at our next practice, it is going to be a very long season. We can do better. Hey, you know what, guys? That was pretty dang good. And you know what gets me really excited? You haven't even reached the top of your potential yet. Not even close.
Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail, I had.
Kick your season off by starting your first game.
They can't be my friends, so they want to be ops. If I see them.
Once you're ready, go ahead and select Advance Week to get to your next game.
Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night. She had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Breno Javinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. The man under center will be Carson Wentz, the third-year quarterback hailing from North Dakota State.
And what a season Carson Wentz was having in 2017 after a rookie season that was a little bit up and down, as you might expect. He was having an MVP caliber year. 33 touchdown passes at the time of his injury. Had his team at 11-2, riding high. Everyone thought that might be it for the Eagles. There goes their dream of winning a Super Bowl. Instead, Nick Foles comes in, team rallies, saves the day, and they end up winning the Super Bowl anyway. But Carson Wentz had a big hand in getting him in that position.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is Ajayi, and he'll get this one up to the 26. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wentz. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Adam Humphries deep to return. Taking it about the 16. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led by their veteran quarterback. He's been in the league for a while, since 2005, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
Then on the ground they go with a running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 19 carries, 69 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary.
Continue that trend here this afternoon. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Fitzpatrick now on second down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And tight end O.J. Howard is just scratching the surface of his potential. Great combo tight end, can get downfield and make the big catches and the long gainers, but also can block at the point of attack.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is fourth down. Fitzpatrick. And that is going to be incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Defensive side of the football, the starters here for Tampa Bay. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results are pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
On second down, here's Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. Now Wentz on third down, and that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Here's Fitzpatrick. He's going to go. And got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 43 yards.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? Right? We know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Coming off injury in 2017 is middle linebacker Jordan Hicks, who's an important part of the Eagles' wide 9 defense. And when you hear that term, think about the defensive ends out wider than normal, so they have a better angle to rush the quarterback. So that means guys like Jordan Hicks, who played middle linebacker, have to be able to fill in the holes against the running game, and he does that very effectively.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run the first quarter of.
You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. Sliding out of the pocket. He's got his man on the crossing route. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Now Fitzpatrick. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. This is caught by Jackson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And that is caught by Jackson for a Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz on the move to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Deshaun Jackson getting set to go again on offense. And we roll tape now on his solid performance.
And what we've been seeing so far is a great combination of finesse and aggressiveness in running his routes and making plays. That's what you want in any type of a receiver. The guy knows exactly what to do on a given play and ends up making the plays that help your team win.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of his end zone, Fitzpatrick. He's got Evans. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Chris Long in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game.
Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Point after now from Catanzaro. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. Shifts by him. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Ajayi. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in Fort.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, an NFC South matchup between Atlanta and Carolina. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. DJ Moore, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. The newest Titan, Dion Lewis, has a touchdown run. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. On the return, this is Jacquizz Rodgers. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Also going on up in Charlotte. That one now a 2-touchdown advantage for the Panthers. Cam Newton, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, and the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Fitzpatrick. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defense...
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Vinny Curry. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Curry, a cap casualty of the Eagles in the offseason. Tampa Bay happy to have him.
More than happy. Ecstatic would be more like it. They needed edge rushers. They added Vinny Curry first. And don't get fooled by the sack numbers, which are below double digits. This guy creates pressure on the quarterback at just about every snap.
He started all 19 games for the Eagles in their run to the title. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Michael Bannon in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Bennett, of course, a big offseason pickup for the Eagles.
And they love his versatility. He can play defensive end, defensive tackle in obvious pass situations, 9.5 sacks last season in Seattle, and the smallest shoulder pads for a man his size we've ever seen.
A 3-time Pro Bowler to boot. High throw, but the catch is made. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On 3rd down, that's Barber. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
On is Chandler Catanzaro now for the Buccaneer field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones at a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
No gain, and it's 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Wentz, caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game, as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, no shutout. Wentz now to throw. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's up to 7 for 7 now on this. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's hit on his last 7 straight passes. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On play action, Wentz throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Wentz to throw. The quick slant caught. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. And maybe a final chance to get on the scoreboard here. This is 4th and goal. Wentz. Carson Wentz, that's his first touchdown pass since December 10th of last year.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Fitzpatrick here to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Fitzpatrick. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll sneak it with Fitzpatrick, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And Fitzpatrick, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult, but guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left.
Hang in there now.
Now Wentz again. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they're able to get this way down there inside the Tampa 20. A big play there for the Eagles on 3rd down. 43 yards. And they'll stop it with 4 seconds showing on the clock. And that one hits the ground incomplete. So now just 4 ticks left in this one. One final try now for Wentz. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world. These points mean a lot.
A lot there. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Go. 120.
And they will not get the 2 points here, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. And that will be the final snap of the ball game. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Buccaneers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll...
Once you're ready, go ahead and select Advance Week to get to your next game.
Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch, stay at my nose. Long night.